we need to remember that Kanye is a human being, is a man. And he has gifting from God, like a lot of people do. But naturally, unless you have a discipleship to Jesus, in the sense of, if you are on a heart journey towards Jesus and in terms of becoming more like him, unless you're doing that, then you're going to fall victim to a number of trappings in the world, money being one of them. And I think that that's the reason why there's been a lot of controversy in the media recently, within church. Because, unless we go on this discipleship journey, then the trappings of the world are going to be so enticing to us: money, fame, and all of these kind of things. And so we need people that are passionately pursuing Jesus, not the world and the trappings of the world, but Jesus. Because if you have that as a church leader, then you can speak truth into situations such as what Kanye is experiencing at the moment, and speak truth into situations where it doesn't matter how much money you have or how much money you earn. It doesn't take away from the truth of who Jesus is and what he has to say about you and your life, because he always does, about all of our lives. And unless we're surrendered to that, then we're not going to be able to live another way. And so I in answer to your question, I think that someone needs to, because if you take the money away, we're born with nothing and we die with nothing. And that is the same for Kanye West too. And we need to remember that. And so whoever his pastors are, or those people of influence around him, they need to be speaking truth into his life, irrespective of his status.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks, I mean, I've seen a couple of things, obviously the behavior, but also there are mental health issues there as well. And, maybe the pastors, dealing with mental health is a different issue to maybe marriage counseling. And maybe some of these guys don't have what it takes to deal with mental health. How would you deal with that?
Yeah, again, I think that's quite possibly true, but I think that you just need people, or he need, not just him actually, but we all need people around us that we can trust, and that people that have got our best interest at heart, that people that are going to speak the truth in kindness and in love towards us. And we know that we need those people around us. And I think that he needs those people. I imagine for him and for other people similar to him, that you've always got one eye on, so what's your agenda? What do you want? What's your game? Because, when you have that much money, there's always someone that has an agenda or wants something. So it makes it, which plays into the whole mental health thing for him, I imagine, anyway. So to have Jesus had a good group of people around him that he trusted. And so we need the same.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was speaking to Wiz from Green Jade.
Oh, yes.
Now, they had a concert which was commemorating, I think, 20 years of a concert that they did.
Amazing.
Now, I asked him a question, and I said, who do you think was the best to ever do it in the UK?
Oof.
Now, his answer was Green Jade. He said, yeah, we did this. We were the first to do this. We were the first to do that. I mean, I wanted to argue my point there, but the statistics kind of show, So my question to you is, who do you think's the best MC or group to ever do it in the UK, gospel-wise?
Wow. That's a big question, man. You can't ask me them kind of questions.
I have to ask you, man.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. In terms of the collective, Zion Noise, Green Jade, of course, one of the forerunners. When I started, Gifted was the guy, man. He was the one. I remember he was on Tim Westwood's show once, because he was like the pioneer early doors. But for me, all right. So I think Jahaziel is perhaps one of the best in the UK that ever did it. And I actually think there were similarities between the way he rhymes and the way I rhyme, actually. And I was hopeful back in the day that we'd collaborate on a track and do something, because I think that'd be special. And I never really got a chance to speak with him.
Yeah.
But I'd love to. I'd love to have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
I think he knows who I am, and I know who he is.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, Jay, and I know that you're walking a slightly different path these days, but I'd still be up for having that conversation.
I think he would too. And you know, speaking of rappers, you know, there has been in the past, you know, few years, we've had a few rappers just kind of walk away from the faith. Why do you think that is?
Oh, I couldn't answer that question. I think there's a whole host of reasons for a lot of people, and I wouldn't want to say, because you can't have one size fit all on that question. There'll be a lot of different reasons for a lot of different people. But I think that I speak for myself on this, that, you know, in a world that is changing constantly, moment by moment, the only thing you can hold on to that is true is Jesus. And I'm not talking about a relationship with Jesus vicariously through a pastor or a famous person, but I'm talking about an intimate personal relationship. If we believe that God is real, then he exists. And if that is the truth, then we need to have a relationship with his existence. And that's the only thing that is certain in an ever-changing world today.